my Bill 5000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. All right, we are back with another lazy masquerade. This one is 5 photographs with chilling backstories. I love it when things work out. I didn't even have to push a button or nothing. It's gonna be a good day, peoples. Good day. All right. I really enjoy like the photographs, the 3 stories with photographs, the 5 photographs with stories, the videos with backstories and stuff like that. Because, let me explain why real fast before we get into anything. Because sometimes you're looking at a photo and it's like, oh, that's just whatever. In actuality, it could be like moments before someone was murdered, like in a story we did through Mr. Ballin, like there was a picture of a feller in a shower, like looking up at someone going, and it evidently was a picture taken like right before she stabbed him the fuck to death. Like, kind of crazy shit. You would have never known. I love it. It's like, oh god, what kind of messed up crap is behind all of this? Oh, so I'm excited. Let's get into today's story. Go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cup with someone special. Let's get chilled. Let's get that little tingle down the spine. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. On the night of June 3rd, 1991, between the hours of 9:30 p.m. and 11 p.m., a local trucker named Eduardo Collin checked into a Super 8 motel. Despite seemingly having arrived by himself, he asked the clerk for a 2-person room for one night and was given the keys to room 233.
Even if I'm by myself, I like to have a 2-person room. I do. I like doubles. I don't. Okay, I do know why. And the reasoning behind it is really stupid, so I'm not going to say it. Okay, I like to jump from bed to bed. I'm a child. Don't judge me.
Eduardo paid in cash at the trucker's rate, and the clerk told him to check out by 11 a.m. the following morning. 2 days later, on June 5th, the hotel employees realized that Eduardo hadn't checked out the previous morning like he was supposed to.
Oh, time to
A
charge
security guard was sent to check up on him. The door to room 233 was locked from the inside, and there was a "Do Not Disturb" sign hanging from the doorknob.
Damn.
The guard knocked.
I mean, there's nothing unusual about that. Maybe he got really... Maybe there was a party going on. He got really fuckered up and he's just hung the hell over and doesn't realize.
But there was no answer. So, with no spare key available, he used a screwdriver to gain access to the room. Aside from a few bottles on the table, nothing really seemed out of place. That is, until he entered the bathroom. Inside,
There was a purse. Whose purse is it? Oh god, it's gonna get fuckered, ain't it? Oh shit.
hanging from the showerhead by a suitcase strap, was the lifeless body of an unidentified woman. Despite her face being badly decomposed, pathologists believe she died the exact same day Eduardo had checked into the motel, 2 days prior, on June 3rd. A toxicology report revealed that she had heroin in her system. She was a Caucasian, or possibly Hispanic woman, between the ages of 25 and
Is that an actual picture of her, or did they just make that? Because that is creepy as...
35. She stood around 5'7", weighed approximately 140 pounds, and had curly, strawberry blonde hair. With nothing to ID her with, they dubbed her the Albuquerque Jane Doe. Investigators examined the room, and one of the first things they found was this picture resting on the table. The photo is believed to be of the deceased woman herself, sat next to an unidentified man. The distorted angle, combined with the Doe's expression, give the picture an eerie, almost uncanny quality.
Like she already be dead. Oh, is she already?
That leaves a lot of people feeling unsettled. Given the photo's backstory, that's not surprising. It's believed the image was taken in a mall photo booth just a few short hours before the woman's death.
Oh, okay.
The photo
So maybe she wasn't dead before the picture. She looked dead. That or maybe he was. He like.
was shown to the clerk, who was working on the night of the 3rd, and despite not seeing the woman enter the motel, she confirmed that the man in the picture was indeed Eduardo. As it would turn out, Eduardo had checked into the motel using legitimate information. The only thing he had lied about was his license plate number. After several years of detective work, Eduardo's family was tracked down. By the time the police found them, however, Eduardo had already passed from natural causes. Strangely, when his family were shown this photo, they said that the man pictured wasn't Eduardo, and that they had no idea who the guy was. They didn't have a clue who the Doe was either. The fact that she had been found dead in his motel room years earlier was news to them. With their primary lead now gone up in smoke, investigators re-examined all the other pieces of evidence that they had found in the motel room. There was a woman's suede purse, with a wallet containing...
Yes, that's that. I'm glad that pulled it up. Okay, like what was none of her information in the purse? Where did she buy her smokes at? Maybe if you could tell where she bought her smokes at, like, what are they? Marlboro? Marlboro Lights? Something? I don't know. I haven't smoked a cigarette in like freaking 15 years. I couldn't freaking tell you even if I want to. They look like Marlboros though. I don't know when this took place, but cigarettes are expensive. Maybe she could have used a card. Uh, is there a way to scan the barcode on the bottom of the cigarette and see where it was bought from? I don't know. I'm swinging wildly in the dark here, people. So I'm trying. I'm trying.
$500 in cash, a suitcase full of women's clothes, a bracelet, and, most interestingly, a digital weighing scale with the name George Martinez written on it. It's believed that this scale was used to measure illicit substances, and that George Martinez may have been the name of the man in this photo. If these photo booth prints really were taken just before the woman died, was this George Martinez with her when she passed? In an effort to discover this woman's true identity, the authorities released this digitally altered version of the photo booth picture.
That's creepier.
This version gives her a much more neutral expression, and, in a strange way, is even more unsettling to look at.
It really is.
Regardless,
Oh God.
it had the desired effect. In March 2021, investigators received a reliable tip that the Doe's real name may have been Becca, and that she may have been from Los Angeles County. It's believed that she flew from California to New Mexico shortly before her life came to an end. At this present moment in time,
Is it just me, or does it look like her mouth kind of moves, like ever so slightly? Like, I don't know if it's just me getting into my own head, or I'm starting to freak myself the hell out, people.
the police don't suspect foul play in Becca's case, instead believing that she took her own life. Right now all they want to do is give her back.
I mean, possibly. Like, if she was on, like, some hard shit, I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility that she just got so fuckered, she was like, it happens. This is crazy, though. Okay, so the dude in the car, supposedly either George Martinez or the other feller, wasn't the other feller at all. Like, they're like, no, that's not even him. Like, are you stupid? And then they're like, huh? So it's probably like this George. What if, like, it's all connected? What if dude was there buying stuff from them, and it was just like the last person that was there, and he was, or maybe it was the last person they had talked to, and he was just like, oh, hey, yeah, oh, dude, I got a name for you. And the reason why the license plate didn't match is because it actually belonged to George Martinez, or maybe even someone, he stole it from someone. Who fucking knows?
Her full name and talked to the male companion that she was with in her final photograph. To this day, however, he still hasn't been located, and Becca's true identity remains unknown. Still, there are many who believe that given the circumstances, Becca was actually murdered. With so many former John and Jane Does being identified as of late, it seems likely that in the not-so-distant future, we'll actually discover who Becca really was. Still, it's strange to think that for more than 30 years, nobody's come forward to claim her, even with this photo available to the public. Surely someone out there knows that she's missing.
I have a question. Whenever someone dies, they don't know who it is or anything. I know they don't keep the body forever. I know it's either like cremated or whatever they do with it, they do with it. Do they keep DNA of the person on file or record? That way, because eventually it's going to get to the point to where more people's DNA is in a system of some sort than is not. You know what I mean? Like hospitals records and stuff, they all have your DNA. Eventually, I just have a feeling like it's going to be to the point where everyone's DNA is on a file from like the time that they're born and put into a system. Would it be plausible to do something like that and maybe find relatives of people from cold cases? Like, I know that would take probably billions of years to run through every single person's, but you would only have to find someone with a slight DNA match and then start going from there, like, right, wouldn't you? Right? I don't know. I'm talking out my ass, people. I don't know.
If only the man who was with her in her final picture.
He does have a familiar face, though.
Now for a photo that's both very visceral and very recent.
But that's the thing, like, he might just have, like, one of those very familiar faces. A lot of people have those. It's like, man, do I know you from somewhere? It's like, no. I've never met you before in my life. I'm sorry. Are you sure? Like, you look really familiar. No. Like, it happens. It does. So maybe he's just got one of those faces that just look familiar because he might look like someone, like his features or something are just that, whatever. Big words, don't know. Not trying. He just looks like people.
It was February 19th, 2022. Paula Ruiz was a mother of 4, living in Chiapas, Mexico. At around 11 p.m., she finished her shift at the Arrecife de Coral Hotel, after which she met up with her son, Miguel, and walked with him to a nearby parking lot. When the pair got there, they realized that Miguel's motorcycle had been stolen. Paula was enraged that somebody would take her son's bike, and she and Miguel began walking around the area, hoping the thief hadn't got far.
Yeah,
As luck would have it, they saw a man pushing Miguel's motorbike down a dark street, accompanied by an accomplice on a separate motorbike beside him.
Oh shit.
Paula and Miguel quickly approached these two men and demanded that they give the bike back immediately. Unfortunately, they weren't dealing with petty crooks. These two men were hardened criminals, now known to the public only as Antonio and Pedro. Things escalated, and an argument erupted between Miguel and Pedro. Fearing for her son's safety, Paula stepped in front of Miguel to protect him, a move which may have saved his life. Having had enough of their protestations, one of the thieves, Pedro, took out a pistol and aimed it at Paula.
Oh,
As he
shit.
did, Paula took out her phone and snapped this picture of him. This was the last picture she would ever take. At the exact moment the camera shutter fell, Pedro opened fire, hitting Paula just above the heart. In that moment, Miguel forgot about his bike and immediately tried to stem his mother's bleeding. He called for an ambulance, which took its sweet time to arrive, but
Oh my
eventually,
God.
Paula did make it to hospital. Unfortunately, she passed away the following morning. As for the
Damn.
perps, Antonio and Pedro, they both fled from the scene after killing Paula, leaving Miguel's motorbike behind. They had taken the 41-year-old mother's life for nothing. Thankfully, they were both apprehended 3 days later in La Isla. 2 other suspects linked to the incident were also arrested that same day.
Hell yeah.
Since this all just happened last month, they're yet to be sentenced. Though, with this picture as evidence, I think it's safe to say that
You're
Pedro
fucked.
won't be getting away with it.
You're fucked in the butt, bud. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you're all getting in the butt. Makes me just so happy.
Murder.
Piece of shit. Oh, God. People are fucking...
This next entry has come to be known as the Taiwanese Elisa Lam case, and, for the past 14 years, has been the subject of a huge amount of speculation throughout the Chinese-speaking world. In 2008, a 37-year-old woman, known only as Liu, went missing in Taiwan along with her 4-year-old daughter. They were both last seen at the Yuanlin Financial Building in Zhanghua, where they were caught on CCTV entering an elevator. After these images were captured, neither Liu nor her daughter were ever seen or heard from again. To this day, it's unknown what happened to either of them. According to the building manager, Liu was acting very strangely when she entered.
Alright, we have watched one where, like, over there, there's this mall, and dude got, like, lost in there for a minute and died. Like, they could just still be in that building somewhere. Lost. Forever. Just saying.
the building that evening. When the manager asked her what she was up to, Liu told him that she was looking for a friend, at which point she quickly rushed into the elevator before he could ask her any more questions. Inside the elevator, Liu and her daughter discarded their shoes and red jackets and left them on the ground. As soon as the doors opened on the 11th floor, Liu picked up her daughter and sprinted down the hallway out of the camera's view. The manager watched all of this unfold on the downstairs monitor and quickly called the authorities, fearing that Liu was about to jump from the roof with her daughter. Removing one's shoes is a relatively common practice for jumpers planning to end their lives in Taiwan. It's
Why?
done so that they don't track dirt into the afterlife.
Oh,
And so that loose footwear doesn't fly off
that's kind of sweet.
while you're falling and strike an innocent bystander.
It's kind of sweet. I mean, that's shitty as all get out. Like, don't get me wrong, don't kill yourself, like, ever. But I mean, that's, I don't know. It's there's a word out there other than sweet that I am trying to think of. It's one of those days my brain is only working, kinda, sorta, possibly, maybe. But it's sweet that they're like, I'm going to, I don't want someone else to get hurt for my, shit. I'll take off my shoes. That's cool. Oh, shit.
The removal of the red jackets was also a worrying sign. Red is a very symbolic color in Taiwan, and those who die while wearing red clothes are said to return as vengeful spirits. It was almost as if Liu was preparing herself and her child for a peaceful transition into their next lives.
Damn.
The police quickly arrived, examined the footage, and agreed that the woman's irrational behavior suggested she was about to end her life. Thing is, they searched the entire perimeter of the building and didn't find the woman's body, nor the body of her daughter. Dozens of officers scoured the inside of the complex too, including the building's rooftop, but they found absolutely no trace of either missing person. They went door to door and asked if anyone had seen anything. They even checked the water tanks and the building's pipes. Nothing. It was as if the pair of them had fallen off the face of the earth. In hopes of uncovering Liu's true identity, these images were released to the public. A few days later, Liu's ex-husband came forward and told the authorities that Liu had been raising their daughter alone.
What?
Now with the woman's identity revealed, investigators had a lot more to work with.
Okay, so her and her old man's like separated and she's... Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Was he the one that they was running from?
They found Miss Liu's moped a few days later, parked a short distance from the Yuan Lim Financial Building. That was about the last significant piece of evidence they ever found. After 10 years with no new developments, the search for both Liu and her missing daughter was called off. In all the years since they disappeared, Miss Liu never once used her national health card, and her daughter was never registered to any schools, strongly suggesting that whatever happened to them, neither of them are alive. But
I mean, really? Like, okay, hold up. What if... Okay, I'm gonna let my imagination take over a little bit, and we're going... What if ex-husband was a piece of shit? Not saying yes by any means, just saying what if he was? What if he was a piece of shit, making her and her kid's life just 10 kinds of fucking hell, and she had enough? Maybe the friend she was looking for in that building was getting her out of there. Maybe it was like some kind of like underground save a bitch thing. Like, come with us. We will get you to wherever, away from this person. We will get you out. And that would, I mean, that would explain why she kicked off her shoes and her jacket and stuff. Maybe when the dude came up to her and started talking to her, she got scared and started freaking out. Maybe she ran down there. She knew she didn't need to have the jackets and stuff on because it was giving them other clothes and cutting their hair and stuff, giving them new identities. Maybe that's why like her health card and stuff hasn't been used. Maybe that's why the kids ain't been used. Maybe it's not that they're dead. Maybe they're alive and well, somewhere completely different, living completely different lives. I'm a glass half full type of person, people.
what do you think? Why was Liu acting so strangely that night? And why have neither of them ever been found?
I just told you.
How did they escape the building without being detected?
I just told you.
Where did they go next? And what, ultimately?
No one knows that but the people who took them there. And I'm just saying, like, what if someone in the building was in on it? What if, like, someone like high up in the building was like, yeah, don't worry about this. I got you. Let me make a phone call. And it's all good. Like, what if?
Became of
I need to change this channel to what if. I say it a lot.
them.
But for
Andrew Macaulay was known for being
Adventurer of the Year. Is this the fool that gets eaten by the whale? No, he was lobster diving. Okay, I just seen in the news where like 2 kayakers got swallowed by a humpback whale. They lived.
an adventurous, competitive spirit. The young Australian was an avid mountaineer and sea kayaker who liked to push himself to his...
Did he get eaten by a humpback whale? The 2 people in the news just the other day was kayakers, and the whale went. They lived. I'm telling you. Look it up.
mental and physical limits, and really put his abilities to the test. He scaled some of the highest peaks in Australia, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Patagonia, taking risky, exploratory routes. He made the first non-stop kayak trip across the Bass Strait, and had even paddled 800 kilometers within the Antarctic Circle. For all of his daring antics, Andrew was named as the Australian Geographic Society's Adventurer of the Year in 2005.
Really? He
By
sounds
that
like a
point,
badass.
Andrew had effectively conquered all of the most difficult kayaking routes throughout
Dude sounds like a true badass, though.
Oceania. All of them, that is, except for one. In 2006, Andrew set himself a new challenge. He was going to cross the Tasman Sea in a standard one-man kayak, completely alone and unaided. In his mind, that journey was his white whale, the one he had to conquer. He knew just how difficult the voyage would be. To make the 994-mile journey, he'd need to spend about a month at sea.
Dude, fucking what? Okay, hold on. Hold the fuck on. This fool is going to kayak across an ocean, basically. Like, this thing's like 1,000 miles. You're going to kayak across it. It's going to take a month. There doesn't look like there was a place to take a nap. Bro, I'm not falling asleep in a fucking kayak. I'm going to die.
Survive on little food and sleep, and face the most extreme elements. But Andrew wasn't one to shy away from a test of endurance. After months of planning,
that don't sound like a test of endurance. That sounds like a test of intelligence. Be smart enough not to do it. I mean, I respect his bravery, his fortitude for it, but a month going across open waters like that, you in this boat at all times, I would shit myself. I would be so scared. I would not be able to fall asleep. I would tip over and drown and die. I would. I don't even know how it would work, but that's how it would work.
Andrew set off in December of 2006, but his first attempt to cross the Tasman Sea ended after just one night. He was having trouble keeping warm in the cockpit of his kayak, and he quickly realized that life on the ocean was going to be much more hostile than he had anticipated. Andrew was rescued and immediately went back to the drawing board. On January 11th, 2007, he set off on his second attempt, this time fully prepared to deal with the intense temperatures and conditions that he'd be facing. Or at least, he thought he was.
Oh God.
All of
No.
Andrew's adventurous predecessors who had attempted to cross the Tasman Sea had done so in elaborate, custom-built kayaks designed to withstand storms and freezing weather. But as mentioned, Andrew wanted to make the journey in a standard kayak. Just one man, his simple vehicle, and the ocean. All he had to defend himself against the harsh elements was a removable, homemade, fiberglass capsule that sat on top of his cockpit.
Fuck that.
This capsule, which he named Casper, was fitted with an air-only ventilator and self-righting capabilities, meaning that should his kayak capsize in the middle of the night, which it almost certainly would in stormy conditions, it would automatically flip itself back upright. For the first 2/3 of his voyage, that wasn't so much of a problem. During that time, Andrew regularly radioed in with his wife and son back in Australia, and told them that he was doing very well.
He's got a wife and kid, and his old lady was like, "Yeah, bro, go do it. Make your son proud." Oh, fuck.
That weather conditions were good, and that he had enough supplies to make the journey. But as Andrew got closer to New Zealand, the conditions outside his kayak became much harder to deal with. 30-foot waves began slamming into his vessel day and night, and on February 9th, Andrew made a distress call in which he said, quote, "Do you copy? This is Kayak 1. Do you copy? Over. I've got an emergency situation. I'm in a kayak about 30 kilometers from Milford Sound. I need a rescue. My kayak's sinking. Fell off into the sea, and I'm going down." On February 12th, 1 month after setting off on his journey, Andrew's partly flooded kayak was found floating about 30 nautical miles from his final destination. But both Andrew and his protective yellow dome were missing. Casper had failed him. The way it had been fitted meant that whenever Andrew's kayak capsized, it wouldn't self-roll back into an upright position. Instead, Andrew would have to crawl out of the kayak and perform a self-rescue by manually flipping his vessel. It's theorized that Casper must have become detached after being struck by a particularly strong wave. With no protection and no way to auto-flip the kayak, it was just a matter of time before the Tasman Sea claimed Andrew. A single memory stick was found inside Andrew's camera, which was still inside the kayak. Andrew had taken a number of photos documenting his entire journey. The photos near the end of the stick shed light on just how dire Andrew's situation really was. This was the final photo he took. To this day, Andrew's remains have never been found.
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna find that shit, bro. That's a literal needle in the bottom of the ocean now. Oh fuck, another water one, no!
This is the last photo taken of Nicholas Mavoli, a freediver from Brooklyn.
He looks scared. Fucking shitless. I don't know why I don't like the water ones. I don't like the water ones. They look at all those bumps, bro. Like, that is... Wow, fuck. Man. Makes the hair stand up and everything. I don't like the water ones. At all. Bro.
Who died while attempting to set an American world record at vertical blue. On November 15th, 2013, Nicholas took to the waters of Dean's Blue Hole, a 200-meter deep limestone pit in the Bahamas. He attempted to reach a depth of 96 meters on a single breath without the aid of any propulsion equipment or supplemental oxygen. At the 68-meter mark, he stopped and began swimming back up to the surface, but seemingly changed his mind and continued downwards. Everyone assumed he had just experienced a moment of panic and had now settled his nerves. But it soon became clear that something was very...
Was he like losing his mind from like nitrogen or oxygen or something? Was something building up in the system making him lose his mind? Was he getting like crazy and like didn't know where he was, discombobulated and whatnot? Possibly.
very wrong with Nicholas. He made it to a depth of 80 meters before quickly swimming back up again. When he surfaced, a photographer captured this picture of Nicholas, the last ever taken of him while he was still alive. And, judging by his facial expression, it's clear he realized the seriousness of his situation, and likely even knew that his own death was imminent. After spending 3 minutes and 38 seconds underwater without oxygen, Nicholas was now suffering from pulmonary edema, otherwise known as wet lung. In this moment right here, he was literally drowning from the inside. Despite not being able to breathe, Nicholas flashed the OK sign with his fingers, something that has to be done in order for one's dive attempt to officially be recognized. But from the way Nick was acting, it was clear he was far from okay. He was having trouble communicating with the safety divers around him, and his eyes remained wide and terrified. Soon, blood began pouring from his mouth. He lost consciousness moments after this photo was taken, and
what the fuck?
Despite the best efforts of the medics, Nicholas passed away right then and there.
What the
He
fuck is
became the
wet
first
lung?
athlete to die in an international free diving competition.
What the fuck is wet? What is wet lung? Okay, is it? I don't understand it. I gotta look that up after we're done with all this. That was the end. Oh, thank God. That was no more water ones. At 5. Yeah, we're at 5. All right. If y'all enjoyed today's video as much as I did, please go down there, smack that like button around. Keep it away from the water. If you're a fan of the spooky, scary, strange, deranged, chilling. Like, I see what it's like. I got goosebumps. Like, I'm chilly, and I'm not chilly. I'm just freaked the fuck out, bro. If you enjoy any of it, subscribe. We do a lot of crazy stuff here. We're getting into some new channels, which I'm actually really enjoying a lot. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed already, do it. Do yourself a favor. Join a community. That is amazing. Peoples. All right. That story is crazy. Crazy. I don't know what wetling is. Like, is it something where you've gone without for so long, like you start to pour water into your? I don't understand it. Don't. I don't like the water ones. All right, everyone. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. No, just stay away from the water. See, and that's what really upsets me. It's summertime. I want to be in the water, but now it's like, fuck you.